Hi, I'm Michele Saumberfield, and I am going to read another poem. If you saw the first poem I posted, the one about Charlotte Massey Hawthorne, then you know what her story is. So I don't want to go into it here. If you don't know what her story is, look it up. She was a young woman. I lived her life during the 1800s, during one of my past lives. I befell a lot of things in my life that really hurt me deeply. I was raped. I was shunned because I was an unwed mother who was pregnant. Well, I was pregnant. um, and my parents stopped talking to me. The man who was the father of that baby did come forward and marry me, and that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be married to him. I wanted some cute boy who was in my class, and I was kicked out of school. I guess I would have been like 7th, 8th grade, something like that. And I loved school, so that was very painful for me emotionally. And I had a child named Jenny who I loved dearly, but she died at age 4, which was very traumatic to me. So a lot of different things happened. I ended up thinking I could change my life, and somehow I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought that I would just find another man, or if I thought I would just make my life more interesting because I was so depressed. But I had a fling. I got caught. My husband had me burnt at the stake for adultery. So anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that because I talk at length about that in the other video I posted earlier today, where I did another poetry reading. So I don't want to be repetitive and waste people's time. You can just forward things to the heart of my videos if I yak too much about stuff. How's that? So I am going to read another poem. I feel that Charlotte is basically a part of me because I had that past life experience of being her. I feel that she's kind of coming through me. Like, I hate to say channeling because I'm not psychic, I'm not a medium, I'm not an empath, I'm nothing like that. But I feel almost as if she is being channeled through me with the poems I have written in the last 24 hours. So this is a poem which I will credit to Charlotte Massey Hawthorne herself, but I'm the one that typed it up on the keyboard. So I'm just going to get going here before my cats start having fits and jumping around and knocking things over and making noise, because they were doing that earlier, and they're both in the room, and I'm afraid they may do that again. Okay. I should have brought my glass of wine with me, huh? All right. Getting this out because I can't see the small print, and hopefully I won't screw this up too much, but I make no promises. This is called Charlotte the Prickly Thorn. Charlotte had to marry a man named John Hawthorne. She did not want to, and she really harbored a lot of resentment and sadness because of this. And that's why I named this poem, or she named this poem, The Prickly Thorn, because she was made to marry a man named John Hawthorne. All right. The Prickly Thorn. I loved to walk in nature, especially in the woods, and dream. What if my dreams came true? The fresh air did me good. The sun, the trees, the trickling stream, the dew, the flowers, the bugs, and all the little chirping birds felt like the warmest hugs. For I had always gone to them, even when I was small, but then I needed them more than ever when the arrogant man caused my fall. All my emotions twisted up, never after him were the same. I heard in church that Jesus was God, Mr. Hawthorne was my devil's name. For I didn't know where curiosity would lead when I foolishly disobeyed. When standing too close to the pub one night, my innocence was taken away. After that tussle, I was scorned in the streets and forced to wear a shameful red dress, all because Mr. Hawthorne's lust turned my happy little world to a mess. And then from there my mother denounced her embarrassing harlot daughter. And as if not quite bad enough, she pulled rank, and gone was my father. So perhaps I lived to be 19, and aged no longer a kid, but inside I still felt like a butterfly, whose wing caught on a thorn and ripped. And I was never the same again. I missed my parents dearly, but when I took walks into the woods, I belonged and felt bliss that was cheery. There among the fragrant scents, for a time I would escape and pretend that I had choices in life and could pick a preferable mate. But that is not the end of it. Total submission was ensured. Mr. Hawthorne fed me to the flames and watched while I endured. Yes, I said a fire was set, on purpose, deliberate, and cruel. And in a town which professed to love God, but forgot the golden rule. Treat others as you also wish to be. Mercy is never wasted. But when a man's pride is on the line, he'll kill even the beauty he's tasted. And so I left the earth too soon. And so I left the earth too soon, much quicker than I ever could imagine. But I am sure Mr. Hawthorne met karma, delivered in searing, swift fashion. What foolhardy lady would have volunteered to be the one who took my place? Wouldn't she be afraid for her life that Lord Hawthorne might have her erased? No, no, I cannot imagine that. Separation from me was seamless, because I know he enjoyed what I had, with his hands, his tongue, his penis. Mr. Hawthorne would say that I was a beauty. He meant it. I could tell. He had me in bed, compromising every night. Now I hope he finds his hot nights in hell. All right. Well, I'm sorry that got stumbly toward the end, but what happened was I had to enlarge the print just a little bit. I was able to in the Facebook page where it's posted, but in doing so, it made the last, like the second part of the last stanza on that page go off the screen. So I couldn't see all the lines, and that's why I was like, oh my God, I can't see it all. I have to, technology, it's wonderful, it's terrible, but I couldn't post anything on YouTube if it didn't exist, right? So, and I've had so much fun making new friends through YouTube and Facebook and email and all of that stuff. So it's interesting to think, because sometimes I'll think about Charlotte's life and I'll think, well, she didn't have cars and she used an outhouse and she couldn't keep in touch with her parents. Like she couldn't on the sly keep in touch with her dad, even if her mother wanted to disassociate with her because her reputation turned bad, and so I think, there's a lot of glitchy things about technology, but there's a lot of good things about technology and social media as well. And it's just a different time. And it's interesting when you have memories of different lifetimes where certain things weren't heard of at all. And back during the first half of the 1800s, they thought their life was the modern life. They thought they had comforts that nobody else had. So it's a real interesting ride when you remember past lives. And but the interesting thing is that love and hate and sorrow and death and the need to eat and the desire to produce something or create something is a common theme in every single lifetime. So that's really cool. Anyway, that's the poem written by Charlotte Massey Hawthorne as channeled through me. Good night.